everyone, it's me, your computer wife, back with another reading for the upcoming week. Whenever this video finds you, it is a timeless reading. We post videos every week, except for next week. We will be in Transylvania, so we will not be posting that week. Anyway, let's just get into it. We have our piles here. We have pile number 1 with this elephant figurine. Pile number 2 with a picture of my beloved cat, Haddison. And pile number 3, we have a mini jar of mushrooms. So pick a pile and we will have a corresponding timestamp below in the description. Thanks in advance for watching our videos, for subscribing, for commenting. We love you. Okay, pile number 1, if you chose the elephant, this is your reading for the week ahead. All right, first we have the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Wands, the Devil, and we do have the Sun on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this upcoming week, pile number 1, I'm seeing a plethora of choices in front of you. It kind of feels like the world is your oyster. We have some interesting background energy going on because I do feel like potentially this week someone could be challenging your decision. So before I get ahead of myself, I think that like this could be a decision that will ultimately really affect the way that you feel about yourself and maybe interact with others. I am getting like an emotional energy more than anything else. So I think this decision has to do directly with the way that you feel, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you think about yourself. It feels very much of an emotional decision. So maybe this is deciding where you're going to put your energy this week. Maybe it is, you know, the way that you are actively thinking about yourself. Maybe it's something to do with the self and your emotions. So there's going to be a choice that you have to make this week. And I think this challenge is going to be something that isn't anything new. Maybe it's kind of an obvious challenge or something about you that is different from everyone else and it kind of intimidates other people. But I feel like it's kind of cliche, but for a reason, just because like our differences are what sets us apart. And they are what makes us special, if you will. And so I really feel like this decision, you're gonna have to like be your truest, most authentic self. Maybe like other people won't understand that, but that's kind of like the only way to be in life. And it's a surefire way to like find your purpose and find your footing and like just a sense of self-confidence. There's nothing more rewarding than like being your truest self and having people accept you for it. I also feel like with this decision with the Devil, there's like this energy of somebody or something trying to tempt you to not follow through with this. So this could be something you've been thinking about for a while, like maybe it's a hobby or the way you dress or your attitude towards something. Like it could be very surface level or pretty deep. But there could be something or someone trying to lure you away again, and attract you with like, you know, sticking to the status quo, not changing, doing what everyone else is doing, kind of just like falling into that monotonous path. I think it's like really tempting to kind of just stay the same, because change can be very scary. But I feel like you're gonna know what this devil is this upcoming week, pile one, because it's gonna be very obvious to you, I think. It's clearly gonna be something that kind of puts you in line with everyone else, maybe makes you feel like a number. And I think the easier path at first will be to not change, but the more challenging yet rewarding path, with the sun, like it's gonna be to just stick to your guns and stay true to yourself, whether it's through like self-expression or your thoughts, the way that you present yourself to others. I feel like this decision is going to be sort of like a catalyst into a transformed version of yourself. It could be like a stepping stone in the right direction. Like ultimately it could be kind of an intimidating choice to step away from the crowd, but I feel like the way that you need to move in this life is to carve out your own unique path and figure out like who you really are, what you value, what makes you different, and really stick to that, because ultimately it's gonna be incredibly rewarding. And I'm really feeling like it's not really gonna matter once you kind of leave these people behind who were closed-minded and maybe a little judgmental, or even trying to just like tempt you to not change and grow, and prevent the natural flow of life. So pile number one, that's what I'm seeing for you this upcoming week. I really hope that it's not too challenging for you. I'm seeing like a really great reward in the long haul for you, of just like staying true to yourself. It'll always pay off. And so that's the message that I'm seeing for you, which is ultimately really exciting, I think. And just like, you know, finding yourself in this world is not always an easy thing to do. So I think that when the opportunity to make this choice presents itself to you, you should stick to it and stay true to yourself. So pile number one, that is your message. Thank you so much for watching. We post videos every week, except for next week when we'll be in Transylvania. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment a little sun emoji if you feel like this resonated with you. See you in 2 weeks, pile one. Okay, pile number two. If you chose this glorious portrait of my beloved Harry, this is your reading for this upcoming week. Let's see what the cards have to say. We have the star. You love to see it. The King of Spatulas. The Page of Spatulas. And at the bottom, we have the 8 of Spatulas. Okay. So in this deck, spatulas represent wands. So there's a lot of movement here in terms of potentially creativity. All right, so starting off, we have the star. The star to me is all about wish fulfillment and kind of seeing this like guiding light usually in the darkness, or just like some sort of hopeful beacon to look to in times of confusion. Although with the King of Spatulas here, we have somebody who is like very sure of themselves, a master at what they do creatively. They're very passionate. Like there's a lot of fire energy here, and we are lacking earth, water, and air. And so I feel like this darkness that surrounds the star could be a lack of grounding or a lack of planning for whatever this, like, I'm guessing it's like a creative endeavor, just with this card here. So I really feel like you're kind of moving really quickly here. And I think this star is kind of advising you to stop and smell the roses a little bit, pile number 2. I think that like you've made this way for yourself, and maybe you have been on this creative journey for quite some time now, maybe even a lifetime. And I feel like you have that fulfillment, but you might be a little smug right now. And there is this like side of you that is still like the Page of Spatulas within the King. And that kind of represents just feeling, smug, naive. And in this case, I'm seeing it's like maybe you moved too quickly, and now it feels kind of like, why didn't I plan things out better? Or, what ways can I ground myself? And I feel like ultimately, like, this is a very positive card, the King. And I think that your creative output and your drive will like really, really thrive here. If you are able to like plan things better. The Hanged Man just came out. Yeah, so maybe it could be a matter of just like taking a step back and evaluating how far you've come, and kind of like looking at what needs to happen before you jump into the next endeavor. I feel like this card can also indicate just like slowing down and maybe taking a break, taking inventory, just recollecting yourself, because I feel like this energy is very kind of fast and overwhelming potentially, especially with this 8 of Wands. I mean, maybe like you were working with somebody who was like all about work and, never had time to play, never had time to relax, and they were taking you on this journey. Or maybe it's like your job that's taking you on a journey, and it's like a very high stress environment. And although you're thriving, I do think that it could do you some good to kind of like slow down and also focus on like what's important to you and, what you value in this life. It feels like pretty to the point, just because of this lack of the other elements here. I would assume that like coming back into balance, whatever that means to you, it will only improve this output of yours. And I think it'll do a lot for your motivation in the long run, and maybe like you can reassess why you do the things that you do, and why you create certain things or work the way that you do. I think it will do a world of good to kind of ground yourself and just take a step back for a little bit and maybe slow down. And maybe that's not your personality type, but I really think that is kind of like the guiding light for you right now, pile number 2. So that is the message that I'm seeing for you for this upcoming week. I think there could be something that happens this week that maybe it kind of makes you stop for a minute and realize, like, okay, this is what I need to focus on, and, you know, my mind has been elsewhere, and I want to reassess what I've been doing and what's important to me. So pile number 2, we hope that this resonated with you. Leave a cucumber emoji below if it did. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you when we return from Transylvania next week. Thanks for watching. Okay. Pile number 3, if you chose this jar of mushrooms, and just to clarify, they're shiitake mushrooms. YouTube. So this is your reading pile 3 for this upcoming week. Let's see what comes out. We have the Lovers, the Magician, a lot of strong energy here, the Page of Tentacles. On the bottom, we have the Queen of Tentacles. Interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, there are a lot of figures here, pile number 3, and that makes me think that there could be other energies involved here other than yourself. Obviously the Lovers, it feels very much like you and another person. So maybe you're the Magician, maybe they're the Page of Tentacles, or vice versa, or let's see what comes out. So with the Lovers as your theme of the week, you could be getting into something that is really emotionally fulfilling, whether it's like a connection with somebody, which it seems like it probably is. It could also be like a work relationship as well. And I don't mean like dating your coworkers. I mean like it could be a business partnership that is really, really fruitful, so to speak, because just with this energy here with the Page and Queen of Tentacles, that makes me think of like people who are all about their coin, they work hard, they have a lot of drive and strength when it comes to getting stuff done. And then we have the Magician here, who is also kind of all about creating their own reality and kind of like alchemizing things and working to create the life that they want, and they're like a master of their craft. And so it could have a couple different meanings, pile number 3. So I feel like this upcoming week, maybe you are working on a relationship and it's just like, it's really what you make it. And you could have like the motivation this upcoming week to put in a lot of effort, care, and work to really like nurture a relationship that is very special to you. The Lovers can mean a few different things. It can mean like a soulmate connection, you know, romantic. It could just mean like someone who you really value and support and see very highly. And so with that, this relationship will require work, like any relationship does. And I think this upcoming week, there's going to be an opportunity to really like connect with this other person or care for them in a way that they really needed. And so that is like the first interpretation of this pile. The second one I have is like there could be a really opportune relationship that is forming at your place of work, or something creatively. Maybe you're in school, and it seems like this person will be the one to kind of help you create this reality for yourself. But I think either way, or maybe it's both. I mean, regardless of which direction this could go, I feel like there is a really influential relationship in your life that helps you discover who you are, and also create that reality and like bring that person to fruition. I think that like this relationship is extremely important and rewarding in your life. There's just this sense of like dependability and just an immense amount of creativity as well, which is a lot of fun in relationships, because it's like the two of you are both working toward a common goal, and ultimately that goal will bring you a lot of success and happiness. And so pile number 3, I feel like this upcoming week is pretty exciting. I feel like there could be, you know, an interaction with this person that kind of opens your eyes to the possibilities of the life you could be living, or perhaps you're like, you know, stepping into that new version of yourself and, you know, bringing this person along with you for the ride. Because it feels very much like a mutual, respectful, and rewarding situation. And I just feel like if there's any advice at all, it's to keep putting in the work, and this, you know, Page of Tentacles mentality will transform into the Queen of Tentacles. And it's just ultimately like a very strong reading, regardless of the direction that it goes in. So pile number 3, that's very exciting for you. Leave a heart emoji in the comments if you feel like this is about you. I'd also love to know about this relationship of yours. It sounds really fulfilling. So we hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We post videos every week. Except for next week, we will be off because